What's going on, guys? Welcome back to BlackTideTV. Today we're back on Titanfall 2's pre-alpha tech test, and we're going through levels 11 through 15, my final impressions of the tech test. So that's week 2. We've already done week 1. Week 1 will be linked in the description down below and in the card in the top right corner. That I went through all of the loadouts and all of the Titans and the pilots and all of the crazy stuff that we had access to from levels 1 through 10 on weekend 1. Now we're into weekend 2. There's less stuff to talk about, so I've actually got a shorter video today. It's not going to be like a half an hour long video. It's only going to be like a 10-12 minute video. I just picked the longest video that I had just because I didn't really know how long this video was going to go for. It's not scripted or anything like that. So I just picked the longest video that I had, and we're just going to go through some of the stuff that we had access to in weekend 2. So that would be three of the new weapons, even though I'm going to do an in-depth weapon video on these 3 new weapons a little bit later this week, maybe even later today. We're going to do the new abilities. We're going to do the new tactical ability. We've got this special thing that I noticed in the actual armory with the call signs, the banners, and the patches. I noticed something very interesting in here that I'm kind of surprised didn't actually come to light, that I've not seen anybody talk about it yet, but it's kind of like a little hint at a weapon that we may be getting. Maybe it's something from Titanfall 1, but we're going to get to that when we get to that. For now, let's jump right into the pilot's loadout. So first thing we need to talk about is the new tactical ability that unlocked, I think it was at level 14 maybe. It's called Cloak. Now, I've seen a lot of people using this ability. I personally did not go for it because when I saw other people using this ability, it was absolutely useless. It's very, very clear when an enemy is cloaking. It's not the best ability in the game. Cloak basically just makes you nearly invisible. It's just like Exo Cloak from Advanced Warfare. It's just like Spectre's invisibility from Black Ops 3. It just makes you kind of invisible, except you're not totally invisible. You're definitely still, it's just like you can still see the outline of the character. It's still like an off shade of white or something is what the color you turn into. Not exactly 100% invisible. And it's very easy to spot enemies using this, especially if they're on the skyline. Say they're on a rooftop or something. You can very, very clearly see them against the sky behind them. So Cloak was not that great of an ability, and it doesn't really help that the soldier himself that actually uses the Cloak ability is huge. Like, this guy is humongous. It's weird that he's using the Cloak ability. Maybe it's like all the tech that's on his outfit like all that tech is maybe what turns him invisible. Like, he's got a lot of different bundles and packages on his outfit here, so maybe that's why he needs to be so big. It's probably a balancing factor, just because if he's invisible, if they make him really big, he might be a little bit easier to see when he's invisible. They say it's increased effectiveness against Titans, but I don't agree with that either. I was in Titans, I was on foot, and I could see these guys every time. So Cloak, not that great of an ability. So that's all of the tactical abilities we had access to in the pre-alpha, and really there's only 2 that stand out, and that's Stim and Grapple. Pulse Blade was okay because you can actually kill people with the Pulse Blade, which not a lot of people probably know, but you can just throw that blade like a throwing knife and insta-kill people. It's very cool, but apart from that, like, the sonar pulse isn't really that great. It's very obvious. Like, when you throw a sonar pulse, the enemies know that you're in the area, so they'll just start tracking you around. It's not as effective as I'd want it to be. Grapple is one of the ones that stands out just because the grapple in this game is actually really cool, and I'm actually going to make a full video talking about the grapple a little bit later this week. Holo Pilot, complete garbage. It's just like Psychosis from Black Ops 3. Very easy to spot, very easy to kill somebody that's using Holo Pilot. Stim is the best ability, hands down. This thing, I could see it getting nerfed before the full game comes out, because this is just the best ability in the entire game. We talked about this during week 1. That video, like I said, is linked in the description down below in the card in the top right corner. But Stim is just amazing. It is far superior to every other tactical ability in the game so far. So I want to see some more tactical abilities on par with Stim when the full game comes out, because this thing is just ridiculous. I run on every single class, regardless of what weapon I'm using. It just can't be beat. Now, moving on to the abilities, I actually think Phase Embark was available before the second week, but this one's quickly teleport into your Titan. I don't think I talked about that, but it's pretty simple. You can jump into your Titan really quick. It's not that special. But the second abilities, the Kit 2, we got a new one in this week 2, and that is Hover. And this is a very, very effective ability. It's very cool. I saw it in the little trailer thing that they showed before you actually get into the multiplayer lobbies, and it's just like that. It's just like in the trailer. It's very effective. Definitely my favorite kit of all of the kits in the game. aiming while airborne allows you to hover. So all you have to do is jump up in the air and aim down your sights, and you just hover there for like 3 or 4 seconds. Very simple to use, very effective. Lots of people aren't expecting you to just suddenly stop in the middle of the air. People, because bullets kind of like drop in this game, and because some weapons have travel time and stuff, people will start shooting below you before you get there, so their shots will be off, and then you can just hover there and shoot them in the face. I can't even tell you how many people I kill with this hover ability. It's on every single one of my classes now. It's just, it can't be beat. It's another one of those things where it's the best of all of the things in the game. I find that's how it is with a lot of weapons and a lot of abilities in this pre-alpha, so I'm hoping that they're going to put in a lot more options and a lot better options in the final build of this game, because there's a lot of things that are OP in this game. There's a lot of weapons and abilities like hover, stim, the frags are really, really powerful compared to the smoke and the arc and stuff. So there are weapons and abilities in this game that far, far outclass everything else. And unless they put in some other options, or unless they either nerf those or buff everything else, this is going to be a fairly one-sided game, which I'm not complaining about. I mean, I like to be OP as much as the next guy, and it's really fun to try and go through the game really quick at the very beginning of the game and find out what's the best thing and put all the best things on your class and then just rock that and kick everyone's ass. I love doing that, so it may add an extra layer of fun to the beginning of the game before they start hitting everything with their nerf hammer. Now, weapons, I'm not going to go too in depth on the weapons in this video, because I'm actually going to have a full weapon video where I talk about the alternator, the mastiff, and the EPG-1 a little bit later. These are the 3 new weapons that we have access to between level 11 and level 15. Level 11 gets us the shotgun, the mastiff, and it is incredibly, incredibly powerful. And there's some things about it that you may not know until you check out that weapon video that may be coming out a little bit later today or tomorrow. But there are some things about the shotgun that you may not know just by running around and using it as a shotgun. It's a very interesting weapon. That's all I'm going to leave it at. So it's very powerful, probably one of the better guns in the entire game. But it's very interesting, and there's a lot of little secrets to it that you may not know. The other one that we got was the alternator. The alternator is a twin barrel SMG. This one has a lot of side-to-side kick. It probably has the most kick of all the weapons in the actual pre-alpha, but it's still very powerful. It's still going to drop people very quickly. I really liked it. It's one of my favorite weapons to use at this point. Very high damage. The last weapon that we got unlocks at level 15, and this one's kind of an odd duck. This one's definitely the weirdest weapon in the game. It's a lot like the Banshee from Black Ops 3. So I'm just going to leave it at that, because I've got a lot to talk about this weapon. It's very, very interesting weapon, very cool. Another one of those weapons where there's some secrets to it that you may not know. And it's just a very interesting weapon. But if you didn't get to level 15, I'll just let you know that you're not really missing anything. This weapon takes a lot of skill to use. So it's not just a weapon that you can just pick up and go and kick ass and have fun. It's a weapon that you have to really be tactical. You really have to plan your shots, and it's a tricky weapon to use. So that's what I'm going to say about the weapons for now. Apart from that, we don't really have anything else that's new in the levels 11 through 15, the second week, except for a new map, which I'm going to talk about again in another video. I know this is kind of a shady kind of video where I'm just saying, oh, I'm going to have other videos talking about stuff, but I just wanted to make a full kind of rundown between level 11 and 15, all this second week. We've actually got some other stuff in the armory as well, I should mention. So there was a new patch, or I mean a new banner for hitting level 15, the most wanted banner. You've probably seen a lot of people running it. The patches, this is really what I wanted to make this video for, is that there is a weapon that was supposed to be in the pre-alpha that isn't in the pre-alpha, and that's kind of strange. So if you actually go to your call sign patches, this is in the multiplayer menu. Before you click find game, you go down to customize, you click on armory, and you can go down to call sign, and that's your banner and your patch, so like your emblem and your calling card, right? In the banners, that's where you get your most wanted and whatever. But patches is interesting. I talked about this in my last video, where to get all the patches, you have to get every weapon that's available to level 7, and then you just unlock the patches. So I finally got the EPG, or not the EPG one, but the magnetic grenade launcher, the MGL. Finally got it up to level 7, like right before the pre-alpha ended. And this other weapon that I thought maybe that's how you unlock this other weapon, nope. This other weapon just didn't get unlocked. There's a patch here for the Archer. It says unlocks at Archer level 7. The patch itself is T-, and it's a rocket. Looks very, very cool. I really want it. I want to know what this Archer is. Do you recognize the name Archer from Titanfall 1? Remember, I'm a PlayStation player. I never played Titanfall 1. Is that like a gun from Titanfall 1 that they're kind of referencing here? Is that... because that could be really cool if it was. I have a feeling it's a new weapon. It's just something that they're kind of hinting at. I'm wondering what kind of weapon the Archer is going to be. Are we going to have like a crossbow or some kind of crazy weapon like that? That would be really cool, but just letting you guys know that this weapon was supposed to be in the pre-alpha, but they took it out at the last minute, and they obviously forgot to take out the patch. So that's interesting. I just wanted to mention that in this video. But apart from that, we got this new map, which I'm going to talk about in the maps video. I'm going to talk about how the maps actually, how they work well and how they work not so well with the pilots and the Titans, and maybe splitting off maps. And I'm just going to make a full video on maps a little bit later. But we got this last map, Forward Base Kadai, and it's kind of a cool map. It's definitely more pilot versus pilot oriented. That's the map that you're actually seeing me play on today. A lot of it's interior, a lot of it's really inside. It's kind of tricky to maneuver around and stuff. And there's some secret passageways on this map that are pretty interesting. But apart from that, it's another really cool map. I like the maps so far in this game. I like the gameplay of this game. I like all of the customization options that we have. Again, some of these things definitely need to be buffed, or some of them need to be nerfed, but it's a pre-alpha, so there's going to be so much more added to this game when it comes out. There's going to be so many more weapons. There's going to be so many more abilities. This game is like a fraction, a very small, little tiny fraction of what this game is really going to be, and I'm so excited for it. I cannot wait for this game to come out. We're gonna have more Titanfall content coming out this week. So we've got stuff like the maps video, we've got the weapons video. I'm gonna talk about grappling in one video, sniping in another video, shotguns in another video. So I've got a whole bunch of videos that were planned for this weekend. I just didn't get around to making them this weekend, but they will be coming out very, very soon. So make sure you subscribe so you get all that good ass content. I don't know what this good, I don't know what second word was coming out of there, but I'm just going to turn it to good ass. So all this good ass content, you got to subscribe to get it. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Tell me what you think about the full Titanfall pre-alpha in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys on the next one.